Imagine being born into old Hollywood royalty. Your dad is Gary Cooper. But Maria Cooper Janis didn't just live in her father's shadow. She carved her own path as a talented painter, the wife of a world-renowned pianist, and the keeper of her father's legacy. In a way that surprised everyone, this isn't just about inheriting fame, it's about using it to build something meaningful. Hollywood's child, growing up, Cooper, Maria Cooper Janis, was born right in the middle of the Hollywood whirlwind in Los Angeles. But while the city was all about glitz and glamour, her home life was surprisingly normal thanks to her parents, Gary Cooper and Veronica "Rocky" Cooper. This solid foundation would become her anchor in a world where what you see on screen is rarely the real story. There's one story from her childhood that perfectly captures this. For her 7th birthday, her dad decided to show one of his own movies, The Plainsmen, and even ran the projector himself. Picture this. You're a 7-year-old girl watching your dad on screen, and suddenly, in the movie, he's about to be lowered into a blazing fire. Terrifying, right? Any kid would be hysterical. But as Maria turned, probably with tears in her eyes, she saw her dad standing right there, perfectly safe. He just winked at her, smiled, and gave her a big thumbs up. Life at home was also a masterclass in navigating Hollywood's weird social rules. Maria's best friends weren't just kids from down the street. They were the daughters of other Hollywood legends. Her circle included Lucille Capra, whose dad was the famous director Frank Capra, and Pia Lindstrom, the daughter of the incredible actress Ingrid Bergman. Among these kids, there was a silent agreement, an unspoken code. You just didn't talk about your parents' work or their private lives. It was an odd kind of normal. Yet, even with this code of silence, they were aware of some of the town's biggest secrets. For example, her parents told her the truth about one of her classmates, Judy Lewis. The world knew her as the adopted daughter of actress Loretta Young, but Maria knew the secret. Judy's real father was Clark Gable. At that time, if that truth had come out, it would have been a massive scandal that could have destroyed both of their careers. Growing up with that kind of knowledge must have been incredibly strange. This idea of protecting family history wasn't something Maria invented. It was something she learned at home, especially from her mother. Veronica "Rocky" Cooper was an amazing photographer and a meticulous record keeper. She filled album after album with photographs, carefully labeling each one, documenting their entire family story, from before her parents even got married in 1933, all the way until her father passed away in 1961. These albums were their life in pictures, at home, traveling, dressed up, and dressed down. They became the heart and soul of the beautiful book Maria would later write. Gary Cooper Off Camera, A Daughter Remembers. Maria even says the book is in large part hers, giving her mom full credit. While her last name was Cooper, Maria was determined to be known for her own creations. She didn't want to just live off her father's fame. She wanted to build something herself, so she channeled her energy into art and became a talented painter. After growing up in LA, she moved to New York to seriously pursue a career in painting, and she succeeded. Her art wasn't just a hobby, it was her profession. She had a successful career as an artist, with her paintings being shown in galleries, not just across the United States, but in Europe and Asia too. She attacks her painting with great energy, which shows just how passionate she is about her work. Her art covers a wide range of styles, from landscapes and still lifes to abstracts. Her work has even found its way into the commercial world. Her sketches have been used on CD and album covers for her husband, the world-famous pianist Byron Janis, and she's also designed limited edition posters for his music releases. This is a beautiful example of two artists in a relationship, blending their talents together. Her paintings have also been sold at auctions, with some going for over $1,000, which shows that her work has real, recognized value in the art world. It seems a love for art just runs in the family. Her father, Gary Cooper, wasn't just an actor. He had an artistic soul. He loved to sketch and draw, and was a keen observer of the world around him, a skill that Maria believes made his acting so powerful and real. She has fond memories of sketching right alongside him as a child. This inherited love for art, combined with her marriage to a world-class musician, meant her entire life was soaked in creativity. It wasn't just about her painting in a studio. Her life was a living, breathing work of art, where her own creativity mixed with the artistic legacies of both her father and her husband. She once shared a thought on her website that gives us a little window into her mind as an artist. She wrote, "Sensitivity for an artist is a double-edged sword, so needed to touch your audience's heart, but often very hard to live and function in this daily world." It's a powerful statement that shows she understands the emotional roller coaster that comes with being an artist. That ability to feel things so deeply is what allows you to create beautiful things, but it can also make just getting through the day a challenge. In 1966, Maria's life took another beautiful turn when she married Byron Janis, the world-renowned American classical concert pianist. This wasn't just a marriage, it was the start of an incredible adventure. Their life together was a whirlwind of international travel, following the demanding schedule of a concert pianist. Maria called it a magic carpet ride and described their shared life as exhilarating, inspiring, volatile, and beautiful. You can hear the love and admiration in her voice when she talks about her husband. She speaks of his passion for music, his unbelievable courage. He continued to perform at the highest level, even while battling severe psoriatic arthritis in his hands, and his refusal to ever compromise on his art. Their partnership went beyond just husband and wife. They became creative partners. They worked together on Byron's autobiography, Chopin and Beyond, My Extraordinary Life in Music and the Paranormal, which came out in 2010. The book is a fascinating look into his amazing career, but it also dives into some of the more mysterious, otherworldly experiences that he felt shaped his life and his music. The fact that Maria was so involved in this deeply personal project shows the incredible intellectual and emotional connection they shared. Her marriage to Byron put Maria in a very unique position. On one hand, she was the daughter of a Hollywood icon. On the other, she was the wife of a classical music superstar. She had a front-row seat to two completely different but equally demanding worlds of global fame. This gave her a rare perspective. She saw firsthand what it takes to be great, the pressures of living in the public eye, and the sheer dedication required to stay at the top. It likely shaped her belief that, to be great, you don't have to have an exploding ego. She saw true greatness in both her father and her husband, and it seems her definition of greatness was tied to character, not just talent. Her ability to not only support her husband's highly specialized career, but to actively contribute to it by co-writing his book and creating art for his albums, shows how adaptable and deeply invested she was in their partnership. Their lives and talents weren't separate. They were woven together, making each other richer. More than half a century after her father's death, if you close your eyes and picture Gary Cooper, the image is still sharp, still heroic, still clear. A huge reason for that is Maria. She passionately embraced her role as the keeper of his flame, ensuring his legacy wouldn't just fade into old movie reels. But she wasn't just a passive guardian. She was an active storyteller, working to show the world the real man, the father, and the friend, not just the movie star. The heart of her effort can be found in her books. In 1999, she released her memoir, Gary Cooper, Off Camera, A Daughter Remembers. This book was a gift to the world, an inside look that revealed the Gary Cooper only she knew. Filled with 175 photographs, many of them personal family pictures, The book is packed with stories that show his warmth and humor. Her goal wasn't to create drama, but to tell our family story, and to show that there is the possibility of a positive, high-profile family story. And in a truly selfless move, 100% of the money from the book goes to the Gary Cooper Endowed Support Fund for Indigenous Cultures at USC. Later, in 2011, she worked with author G. Bruce Boyer on Gary Cooper Enduring Style. With a forward by fashion icon Ralph Lauren, this book focused on Cooper's incredible sense of fashion and timeless cool, again using never-before-seen personal photos to highlight his sophisticated grace and cultivated taste. Maria also knew the power of film and television to tell a story. She collaborated on several TV specials for networks like TNT and A&E. She also worked on a fascinating feature-length documentary called The True Jen, which explored the complicated 20-year friendship between her father and the famous writer Ernest Hemingway. In a beautiful touch that brought her two worlds together, the musical score for the documentary was composed by her husband, Byron Janis. Her production work didn't stop there. She also co-produced The Byron Janis Story, a PBS documentary about her husband's incredible life. Perhaps her most monumental project has been the careful preservation of her family's entire history. She and her team began the massive task of organizing everything she had saved: the Gary Cooper papers, his personal belongings, letters, family home movies, and countless other treasures. The goal was to launch a major exhibition at the University of Southern California, creating a living archive for future students, researchers, and fans. She also wanted to honor the things her father was passionate about. Gary Cooper grew up in Montana and had a deep respect for indigenous cultures. To honor this, Maria established the Gary Cooper Endowed Support Fund for Indigenous Cultures at USC. She didn't stop there. She also created the Gary Cooper Scholarship for American Indian students in film and television at USC. These aren't just symbolic gestures. They are active, life-changing initiatives that connect her father's name to supporting and empowering a new generation of indigenous artists and filmmakers. Through all these different avenues, books, films, archives, and philanthropy, Maria Cooper Janis has actively shaped how we remember Gary Cooper. She has taken us beyond the screen and shown us the real man. By sharing these deeply personal family materials, she has given us a gift of authenticity that no biographer could ever match. Maria's desire to give back doesn't stop with protecting her father's memory. Her life's work shows a broad compassion for many different causes, reflecting a deep sense of responsibility that was clearly instilled in her from a young age. Her work with the American Arthritis Foundation is especially personal, given her husband Byron Janis's courageous battle with the disease. Living a life surrounded by music, it's no surprise she also serves on the board of Pro Musics, an organization that helps young, talented musicians build their careers. Her philanthropic work also includes the Neuropathy Foundation and a role as an active board member for the American Society for Psychical Research, or ASPR. This interest might seem surprising, but it connects back to the paranormal experiences she helped her husband write about in his autobiography. This wide range of causes, from health to the arts to scientific research, shows that Maria's desire to make a difference is woven into the fabric of who she is. It's a direct reflection of a lesson her father taught her. He used to tell her, "Never forget, life doesn't owe you a goddamn thing. Work and give back in your own way as best you can." Looking at the incredible variety of her charitable work, it's clear she took that advice to heart. Maria Cooper Janis is not someone who is content to sit back and let the history books do the talking. She remains a vibrant, active public figure, constantly finding new ways to share her father's story and her own incredible experiences. She frequently gives lectures on growing up in Hollywood, sometimes appearing with her old friend Joan Benny, the daughter of comedian Jack Benny. These talks aren't dry history lessons. They are living, breathing windows into a lost era told by someone who was actually there. In recent years, she's smartly embraced modern media to connect with younger generations. She's appeared on podcasts like Forgotten Hollywood, sharing wonderful stories about her father and his films. Her dedication is also on full display at public events. She was the star of the first annual Gary Cooper Film Fest in Southampton, New York. At this festival, she didn't just give a speech, she connected with people. She shared personal stories. She let amazed attendees hold her father's actual Oscar for High Noon. And she spoke from the heart about her wish for the under-40 generation to discover and connect with her father's legacy. These appearances are so important. They turn history into a conversation. By actively sharing her memories and her insights, Maria Cooper Janis builds a bridge from the past to the present, making the legendary figures of Hollywood's golden age feel real and relatable.